Hi. I'm Kate Gardens. Here are some of the questions our apartment expense report can answer. Are your utility costs too high? How do your expenses compare with similar properties in your market area? How can you create a reliable budget for a market area or property type you are unfamiliar with? What are other investors paying their managers? How can you support your expenses in a tax appeal? The report is based on our annual analysis of actual detailed annual statements for more than 90,000 apartment units in 800-plus properties in the Puget Sound region. The report is actually 3 reports in one. Number 1 is the 150-page printed report. We send it to you in a 3-ring binder. You can also download it as a PDF. The report breaks out line item income and expenses for all of the major submarkets in the region, for properties under 100 units, for properties over 100 units, and in various age groups. There is a table of contents on our website for you to download. Number 2 is an Excel file listing each line item of income and expenses for each of the 800-plus properties in the annual report. The nice thing about the Excel file is that you can sort the list by the age group, property size range, and sub-market you are interested in. Number 3 is our online, interactive, expense analyzer. This lets you zero in on any neighborhood, and more size and age ranges, than are available in the printed report. You can really create a customized report that fits your situation. Plus, the expense analyzer includes 10 years of data, so you can measure your performance over time, compared to your comparables. This is just a picture of the front page of the printed report. It is the PDF version. We include a list of the participants who make this research possible, by sending us their detailed annual statements. There is a map, showing our market area breakdowns. We include a description of each of the line item income and expense categories. You can download this from our website. There is a discussion of how to use the report. Next, we include a discussion of line item revenue trends. It is 4 pages. We also include a 10-page discussion of line item expense trends. This section also has detailed information, by city, for expected rate changes for taxes, water, sewer, garbage, and electricity. Here is a typical data page. You will find these for each age group. You can see the age groups in the left column. Data pages are further broken down, by 20 to 99 unit properties, and 100 unit and larger properties. These size breakdowns are also reported for King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties. Here is a blow-up of part of the data page for 20 to 99 unit properties in King County, built between 1985 and 1989. We show a lot of information for each line item of income and expenses, so you can make better decisions, and create better budgets. First, we show how many building and units we collected information for in this group. Now take a look at the data we present. Let's use real estate taxes as an example. We show the average cost was $1,090. We also show the median cost, and the low and high costs. The low means 25% of the properties spent less than $912. And the high means 25% paid more than $1,248. That range helps you estimate where your costs are, compared to the group. Here's the bottom half of the data page. In addition to showing last year's line items, we include trends for the past 6 years, for a few key indicators: effective gross income, total expenses, in dollars per unit, dollars per net rentable square foot, and as a percent of effective gross income. In addition to the data tables, there are tables that show each line item, for each property, separately. Here's a better view of some of the page. These tables let you pick individual properties that best fit your situation. For example, you can zero in on 20 to 99 unit properties, in the East Side market area. If your units are closer to 800 square feet, you can narrow down your list to properties with a similar unit size. You can also compare income and real estate taxes to narrow down even more, to properties with similar income, and possibly, similar value. Finding the most comparable properties, by using the list cases tables in the printed report, can be tedious. So, we also include an Excel file, that subscribers can download. It has all the same information, but you can sort through it, so much faster. Now let's move on to the most powerful feature of the apartment expense report, the online, interactive, expense analyzer. Here is a screenshot showing the initial search page. You can drill down a lot more with this online report. Right down to the neighborhood level, if you want. Or you can select only low-rise, or mid-rise, or high-rise properties. And you have more flexibility in the size and age range of properties you want to select. Finally, in addition to getting line item data for the most recent year, you can get it for any of the past 10 years. That gives you the ability to compare your performance over time with your peer group. I just selected properties on Capitol Hill, built between 1965 and 1974. The report had detailed income and expenses from last year for 8 properties. Usually, we recommend selecting multiple neighborhoods, and then also zero in based on age, and low rise, etc. But this is just a quick example, to show you how easily it is, to customize these online reports, to fit your situation. Once you select your criteria, a detailed report is created. You can print a PDF of the report, or download the data in Excel. First, we can see the relationship between unit size and income, and unit size and expenses. This will help you adjust these results, based on the size of your units. Remember, you have already selected properties that are in the same location, and were built at about the same time. These charts let you estimate where you should fit, based on your unit size. For example, if your units average 500 square feet, you should have collected $950 a month last year, per unit. Simple enough. But now here's an unusual trend for expenses. It seems reasonable to expect expenses to be higher for bigger units. Keep in mind, all of these properties are in the same neighborhood and were built at about the same time. But the chart shows costs were ideal for properties with units averaging about 500 square feet. Maybe we have stumbled upon an important finding. But we need to look at these properties in more detail before deciding. Next, there are 2 charts that simply plot each property's income and expenses, from lowest to highest. These charts let you see how well you are doing, compared to your peer group. Everyone can't be above average, except in Garrison Keillor's Lake Wobegon. Personally, I'm doing great. My average rent of $1,040 puts me in the top 1/4 of the group. And my expenses of $39.20 are less than 55% of my peers. I think I will ask Patty and Mike for a bonus. The expense analyzer includes a table, showing the average line item income categories for the properties you selected. There's no rent, or vacancy information, reported by any of these properties. That's not always the case. But it happens, because a lot of properties just track collected revenue. If you need rent and vacancy information, fear not. Our apartment vacancy report has all of that information. Here's the rest of the table, showing line item expenses. When you look at the line items for each property, you can narrow down your selection to properties with unit sizes that are closest to yours. You may also want to pick properties with similar incomes. The online report gives you the ability to download an Excel file with all of this information. That makes narrowing down your peer group easier. And it makes calculating the results a breeze. This is a lot more detailed than the printed report or its Excel file. Here's what the rest of the expense comparables table looks like. Our expense analyzer has one more important feature. Once you selected your peer group and created your report, you can look at trends for the past 10 years for each line item of income and expense. These individual line item reports let you take a hard and thoughtful look at your own performance. How are you really doing? Where have things gotten out of whack? Okay, analyzing expenses is not much more fun than getting your teeth cleaned. Maybe even less. But the expense analyzer will help you create better budgets, so you can avoid the definition of a budget, invented by Groucho Marx, who said, "A budget is a way of going broke methodically." So, instead, with the help of the expense analyzer, you will create better budgets, methodically, to grow both revenue and property value.